Hey,
I'm Brittany,
I'm Brad.
and we are Audio Show.
All right, so today's book, I think there's some mixed feelings about this because I think you loved it
I did really enjoy it.
and I liked it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
only mixed feelings between the two of us.
Exactly.
But we're
So
all that matters.
We are going to be reviewing Megan Goldin's The Night Swim.
How many freaking book of the months do you have?
Girl, you see I got that book of the month.
You're a mess.
For this book's about.
Okay, so we did the audiobook version of this, and I guess Brad had the book of the month at the time to follow along.
I actually didn't.
Okay, he did not.
It was a waste of money.
He did the audiobook as well, and we listened via NetGalley. So thank you, NetGalley, for supplying us with that book. The narrators were Bailey Carr, we love, January Lavoie, and Samantha Des. And the length of the audiobook was 9 hours and 59 minutes.
Why couldn't someone just say, and that's when the story ends?
Just go, huh? Just a simple, what? Somewhere in the book. Anyway, this book is a true crime podcast of a little tiny toxic ass town.
My goodness.
Basically, a girl was raped by a star athlete, and nobody believes her in this town. Some people believe her, some people don't, but the town is divided, and people are fighting in grocery stores, and the trial is coming up, so you have a lot of like heated and deep feelings, and basically the town is extremely toxic, and we get to hear all about it.
I think that is the most memorable thing from this book is that grocery store scene.
Yeah.
Where she's in line standing behind a man and a woman, and they're sitting there arguing about if this woman was raped, like if it was her fault or the raper's fault. And I was just like, the entire time, I'm just like, are you kidding me? Can you listen to yourselves for a second?
Can you just get your milk and go, please? Because we don't want to hear it.
And so I will say that huge trigger warnings for this book.
Yes.
Because one thing I did not really love about it is there was a lot of mention of rape. And I was like, all right, we get it. We know what happened to this girl. You don't have to keep talking about it,
Yeah.
And, for me, it was just like uncomfortable at times.
Yeah. Because there's also a B plot, I would say, between another character from 25 years ago in the same town whose sister was actually raped and murdered. And she is trying to get our main character Rachel's attention and her help in solving that crime. And so we get a lot of notes from her. We do get some narration from her, and that's why the book is split up with 3 different narrators. We have our character Hannah, who is the sister of the character who was murdered and killed, and no justice was served. I said murdered and killed. Raped and killed.
There it is.
Much darker.
Much darker.
And there was no justice served to her at all. It was pretty much not covered up, but it was overshadowed by the fact that there was a car accident that killed a bunch of teen boys. And then you have Rachel in our first person perspective of the podcast, where she's delivering updates on this current trial and on updates for Hannah's sister.
Exactly.
And then we have Rachel in third person, which is her going around the town, witnessing what is happening to the citizens, how they're being ripped apart, doing interviews, and just visiting all of the sites where our current rape victim and our previous rape victim ventured.
Yes. It's funny because I like the way you described it. Like reading it, I was just like, okay, this is what's happening. It was very slow burn for me. And I'm someone that like slow burns are fine, but it was like a legal thriller as well.
Yes.
And that really kind of like bored me often, which was like really unfortunate because I loved how you just explained it. And another thing about the podcasting, because we're podcasting, hello. But I loved that idea of having those chapters dedicated to the podcast, which is very reminiscent of For the Best by Vanessa Lilly.
Yeah.
Podcasts are becoming a huge thing in books. Say goodbye to letter writing.
Letter writing, I don't know her.
Right? But I was like, these podcast episodes are real short. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Like they're really short.
Like after we have listened to a couple different seasons of like Serial and some other like true crime podcasts, those episodes are 1-2 hours long.
Yeah.
These were like 10
minutes, maybe even like pushing 17 minutes, which I'm like, okay.
Pushing, which is that's a weird number that you just pulled out of your hat.
I know, right?
We got 17 and a half minutes.
Yes. But so for the narration, obviously we love Bailey Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Lavoie did a great job. And the third person, I forgot her name.
Samantha Des.
Yes, she did phenomenal. I loved how all of them kind of had really great chemistry recording the novel, and they all had their different emotions that they put into the character. You can tell like they were distraught by the topic that was covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was interesting to listen to this with like the current climate. I know that is something that probably a lot of people reference when they read and listen to this book. Mm-hmm. But it was interesting because we had a look back at 25 years prior with Hannah and her sister, whose name is Jenny. Mm-hmm. And then we had current time, and it was like nothing had changed in this town. Like there was no, it was sad. And it's very much real life. You don't want this book to feel reminiscent of today. Mm-hmm. And it brings back a lot of like memories of the Hannah Mary McKinnon book, The Sister Dear, because you kind of don't know where this book is going to go. Is the town going to evolve and continue to stick by these men where they call women sluts and they judge women on how many men they sleep with, but the men are high-fived at every new conquest? Like, what's going to happen? So it was scary to listen to and read because it felt so much like real life.
The victim blaming was hard to hear because from someone that understands that culture, the like great culture, and we read books on it all the time, and so me and you have this like kind of idea that women should not be blamed for this type of behavior from a man. Just the characters in here were just sickening. They were sickening.
Yeah, they were pretty disgusting. But I really liked it. I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. And I thought that the way it was set up was really good and cool. It was really cool. Mm-hmm. And I really did enjoy the way that the material was handled. Because there was still a mystery in there as well. Mm-hmm. There was still something to be uncovered. And you still had the trial happening at the same time. Yes. And I will say that I had a much more positive experience with this one than I did with Sister Dear.
Okay. Yes, because, justice was served.
I won't tell you how that justice is served, but it was.
Twas. I think I rated it a 3 out of 5 on Goodreads just because of the slowness of the story. And I don't know if legal thrillers are my jam.
I don't think that they are. Like I don't know. I don't know if you can hang with them.
Yeah. Like I want to stay out of the court, I
mean, yeah.
So
it's kind of a little sad place to be. Mm-hmm.
So for instance, for me, I don't think I will, shelf it. I'm probably going to shove it, but still recommend it to people who like this kind of thing.
I would shelf it. And I do think that I like these little, it's not a police procedural, there we go. But it's fun in the courtroom aspect of like Law and Order kind of thing. And you don't really like Law and Order. Like that's Eddie's thing, right?
Yep. Yeah. I don't like Law and Order.
Mm-hmm. And I'm currently watching this show called Broadchurch, which is like based in the UK. Yes. And the second season is all like courtroom stuff. The courtroom stuff is the most exciting part to me.
Really?
But it's also something that I can't stomach because it feels so realistic. So
don't watch the US version of Broadchurch.
no, it's basically the same, but they just changed out Olivia Colman.
Exactly.
For some reason. But again, it's the same thing where when we were in the courtroom, with this book, I could not handle hearing the defense going at the victim or the witness. It made me want to fast forward, but I'm really glad that I didn't, because there was points in there that just made me like very hopeful for the ending of the book.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think we about covered it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Man.
When we like a book, we get through it.
Yeah. Even when we don't really like the book, but would still recommend it.
Hot topics here.
Very hot topics.
I was hoping that it was going to be more swim fanish.
Right? Like something creepy, like just some crazy curly-haired girl coming out of the pool. See you. Because the guy was a swimmer.
Yes.
So
that was the only night swimming.
That was the only night swimming. God.
It was a good summer book, though.
Yes, it really was. It made you not want to go to the beach, which is great because you probably shouldn't have been going to the beach anyway. Just gonna throw that out there. But if you liked Night Swim and want to talk with us about it or leave a comment, please do so down below. And also you can follow along with us on our various social medias. We are on Twitter at AudioShelfMe and Instagram at AudioShelfMe and Facebook at AudioShelf. I almost messed up so many times doing that.
And if you like these videos and want more, give us a thumbs up and hit that little red button that says subscribe.
Yeah. You won't regret it, we hope.
Until next time.
Bye.